Hello and welcome. Our topic for the day is using triangle congruence theorems. To understand the concept, let's do some questions. Before we start off doing our questions, let's understand the concept of congruence. Let's read it out. Objects that are exactly the same size and shape are said to be congruent. Very simple to understand. Let's read further. When we look at congruent figures, we have to be sure to find the sides and angles that match up. Match up means they are in the same place in each figure. Sides and angles that match up are called corresponding sides and corresponding angles. Let's understand this in the questions given to us. The first one says, name the postulate or theorem used to prove that the triangles are congruent if any. We're given two triangles, triangle SIT and triangle AND. So we have to find out whether the triangles are congruent or not and which statement will be used. Now here we see that side IS and side NA are marked with a single mark, that is a line over here. This indicates that side IS is congruent to side AN. That means this side IS has a corresponding side NA. So that means they match up, they are in the same place. So these two sides are congruent to each other. Now we see there's some markings on the angles also. Let's start off with angle T. Angle T is congruent to angle D. Why? First of all, it is shown by the same marking, that is singly marked. Here also it is shown by a single mark. Also they are at the same place, that is they have the same place in this triangle, that is angle T and angle D match up with our concept of matching up over here. So angle T is congruent to angle D. Now angle S is congruent to angle A. Again we see they are marked with a double line. The angle S is also with a double line and angle A is also with a double line. So this indicates that angle S is congruent to angle A. So let's see, this is a side, this is an angle, and this is also an angle. Now the theorem of the postulate that is used to prove that triangle is congruent is AAS. That is angle, angle, side. Two angles and one side. So angle, angle, side is the theorem that is used to prove the triangles are congruent. This can be seen in option A. Let's look at the next question. Name the postulate or theorem used to prove that triangles are congruent if any. Given the triangle SIT and triangle AND. Now let's see, our side IS is congruent to side NA because they are matching at the same place. Now the other side that we see is ST is congruent to side AD. Again they match up and are shown by the double mark lines. Now these are the two sides that are congruent. Now we see an angle is shown congruent, that is angle S is congruent to angle A. This is the angle. Now here we see that the angle is included in the side, that is angle S is included between side IS and ST, and angle A is included between sides NA and AD, which are congruent to the corresponding sides in the other triangle. So we see that the theorem of the postulate that forms is SAS, that is side included angle and the side. This is a theorem which is used to prove the two triangles are congruent, which is seen in option A. Let's see the next question. Name the postulate or theorem used to prove the triangles are congruent if any, given the triangle SIT and triangle AND. Now this indicates that angle I is equal to angle N, because again they are shown by double mark lines. Angle S is equal to angle A, and angle T is equal to angle D. Now these are the three angles which are equal to each other. Though the angles are equal, yet it is not a theorem to prove that the triangles are congruent. So AAA, that is the three angles, it's not a theorem to prove that triangles are congruent. This indicates that the triangles are similar but not congruent. So the option that matches is not necessarily congruent. We have to be careful that this is not a criteria to prove that the triangles are congruent. I hope using triangle congruence theorems is easy now. Thank you for watching and have a nice day.